Okay, this is lesson 46, and it's word problems about a fraction of a group. So we've done equal group problems, and now we're going to do another kind. It's still an equal group problem, but it's about a fraction of a group. So, for example, this morning, 2/5 of Mrs. Raj's 30 students rode the bus. How many rode the bus? So we know we're going to find a part of that 30 students, right? We're going to find 2/5 of 30. So looking at my problem, I pull out the fact that there are 30 students in all, and I want to find 2/5 of those. So I want to break them into equal groups. Looking at my fraction, do you remember how many equal groups I'm going to break this into? Remember to look at your denominator. Okay, so I'm going to break this into 5 equal groups. Oh my gosh, look at that's really perfect. It's never that good. So I'm going to break it into 5 equal groups. So I know I have 30 students. How many is going to go in each box if they're equal? So I have 30 divided into 5 groups. There's 6 in each group, right? Okay. If I have 2, there's 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5. So if I have 2/5, both of those, I'm going to break it into 12 kids rode the bus. So the trick with these is remembering how you find out how many groups to break it into, and remembering that they all have to be equal amounts in each group. Okay? All right, let's look at example 1. Neve, not sure how to say that, scored 2/3 of her team's 36 points. How many points did she score? Okay, so I'm 36 in all, right? So there's my box. So I know the total of all my groups is going to be 36. I look at my denominator and I say, oh, 3 groups. So 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to take that, and that's what Niev scored, right? Okay, well, how much goes in each box? I take my 36 and I break it into 3 groups, so I divide by 3. And I say, 12 in each box. Well, if I have 2/3, I have 12 plus 12. So she scored how many points? 24 points. Right? Does that make sense? Again, how many groups did I break it into? The denominator. How much is in each group? I took the total and divided by the denominator. Okay. All right, let's look at example 2. LaDonna's dog ate 1/4 of a dozen dog bones. How many does she eat? So I've got 1/4, and then my other number is a dozen. So I'm going to draw my box. Oops, got a little sideways. How many groups am I going to break that into? How do I find that? Look at my denominator. So I have 4 groups. And how many total did I have? I don't see another number. Oh, dozen. Okay, so there's 12 total. So if I divide 12 into 4 groups, there's going to be 3 in each group. And LaDonna's dog ate 1 of those 4 groups. So the dog ate 3 bones. Right? But it asked how many were left. So 9 bones were left, right? So I did not read carefully. So 1, 2, 3 times 3 is 9 bones left. Oops. All right. Example 3 says a 5th grade basketball team scored 32 points in their first game of the season. So that looks like our total is 32 points. The team scored 5/8 of those points in the second half of the game. And then they give you 2 diagrams, and you have to pick the right one. Let's go ahead and do that problem. What was our total? 32. And how many groups am I going to break it into? 8. I'll never do this right. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to divide 32 into 8 pieces, right? So 8 will go into 32 4 times. And how do I know that that's going to be the right diagram? It's the one on the right-hand side. I know it because each of those have to be equal groups, right? I can't have 3 over here and 5 over there. I could make it add up to 32 that way, but that's not how fractions work. Okay, so they said 5/8 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So they scored 5/8 of those points in the second half. And so they scored 20 in the second half. So there's the second half. And then there's the first half. So how many did they score in the first half? They scored 12 points in the first half, right? So 12 and 20 does equal 32, so I've done it correctly. Trick with this is remembering how many groups to break it into, finding your total, and then finding out what goes in each group. But I think we've made it pretty clear. Good luck.